judged by time. She walked with the silence the streets couldn't break, a blade by her cheek to settle the stakes, an essence of strength carved deep in her soul. Life took its shots, but she never let go. She's an actress in the eyes, a spark in the smile, capturing moments, bending them to her style. Some soft petals fall where she once stood, now they walk in tears where roses once bloomed. An essence of strength, but the streets took their toll. A blade by the cheek just to stay in control. A child of the flame, born into the heat, running from fire with chaos at her feet. What's my name? She cried to the night. A soul in the shadows, still burning bright. She wore grace like a weapon, wild like the sea, a mystery wrapped in shattered poetry. Her dress, her smile, her storm, her truth. Who is she? You wish you knew. A total eclipse could never steal her light. She danced through the dark, vanished from sight. Many lived this life, but never made it home. She was more than a name etched in stone. Off in the sunset, a dream chased in vain, a life of misdeeds washed away by the rain. Let there be solace as we speak her name.
All right. All right. Happy Monday, everyone. You know, we're just sitting at my desk and all of a sudden my phone started blowing up. X, formerly known as Twitter, the notifications were going off nonstop. And I was like, what the hell? We got bad weather here, so I thought, it might be weather notification, but just thought I'd get on here and share with you guys some information, see if it's true. Is it really true? Is it really true? You guys are saying it's true. I saw it on Twitter. I saw it 20 minutes ago. Let me show you because there's a lot of people that still don't believe it. There it is. They're still going to deny it till the end. They're still going to die on that sword, Dolphins. Nina, you want to come up? I'll drop the link for you. I think you deserve some of this celebration. How's everybody doing today on this Monday? Well, Texas, you know as well as I do, he won't be breathing long. Somebody gonna take him out just like they took out Dahmer. You know what I mean? Dahmer was gonna be in there forever, they said, and it didn't happen. So let me read this, okay? It says sources confirmed the prosecution had proposed dropping the death penalty. A court hearing for a change of plea will be on Wednesday. Kohberger faces murder charges for 22 deaths of all 4 college students.
Again, from the state of Idaho once again, but on a different story, as News Nation has just learned that the accused killer, Brian Kohberger, accepted a plea deal. Yeah, a plea deal was offered. He has accepted the deal. Sources are confirming that prosecutors proposed dropping the death penalty. That was the deal in exchange for Kohberger pleading guilty to committing 4 murders and pleading guilty to burglary as well. So guilty plea in exchange for no death penalty. Now, the background on this story, you'll remember he's accused of killing those 4 University of Idaho students at their home. It was back in November of 2022. Sources say Kohberger must also agree to spend the rest of his life in prison without any possibility of parole. So jail for life, no parole, but again, no death penalty. Must waive his right to appeal as part of this as well. Plea deal has been accepted. A court hearing for a change of plea will take place on Wednesday, so in 2 days. So this is just breaking. They'll be covering it in more detail tonight on Elizabeth Vargas Reports and also on Banfield. One of many big stories we're covering. Now,
1 second, they're a neighbor you like.
You know what's interesting is now what? Now what? It said New Nation had learned a plea deal had been offered to Brian Kohberger. I was saying plea deal in the beginning, but people were shooting that down. Bill said he's going to stick with the death penalty. He's never going to plea. But I was saying, also Bill was the plea deal king. That's his deal. Plea deals. So I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, you know, so you can't say he's innocent no more because as of Wednesday, when he signs guilty, no more presumption. It's guilty. Signed, sealed, and delivered. I was hoping for a hearing. I was hoping for a trial. I really was. Let's read on. It says sources confirm the prosecution has proposed dropping the death penalty in exchange for Kohberger pleading guilty to committing the murders and pleading guilty to the burglary charge. News Nation has learned Kohberger must also agree to spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole and must waive his right to an appeal. A court hearing for a change of plea will be on Wednesday. And that is all we have at the moment. So it is real. It is real. It is not speculation. It's really weird to think about that it would happen this way, but one way or the other it was going to happen. We were either going to hear a jury say guilty or not guilty, or this was going to happen. But I believe that since Anne couldn't get the death penalty off the charges and all that, because that's what she was doing. She was trying to save his life. And since she couldn't get that done, it's almost like, hey, Brian, if you were as smart as you think you are, you'll plea. I mean, it's a pretty sweet offer. You know what I mean? They did fool a lot of folks. A lot of people believed in them. They believed in them. You know? Well, they can come up with all the BS they want to. You know? They can come up with all the BS they want to. They can still be conspiracy if they want to. When the man himself signed guilty, that means he's ran out of options. That means he's smart enough to say, you know what, they're going to kill me. All these things that I've thrown at the court's not buying it. I need to do something different. They're going to kill me. What do y'all think? Y'all think that you would have taken the plea or you still would have been taking it to trial? I believe that in some of these cases, Melissa, um, they do make the person as part of the plea deal is to tell exactly what happened. So we might hear what happens. I mean, it's not always a guarantee, but I believe sometimes they make them tell what happened. You know what I mean? Wow. Time to pull the plug, Brian, assuming you have electricity. I'm about to break out some champagne. I hope my electricity don't go off because of this storm. Yeah, they need to have all that stuff in hand before he signs anything. I think that will be part of the definitive plea agreement that um he does tell how he did it. Yeah, I just read that. So, are any of you as shocked as Southwest Firefly? How do y'all feel about this? Texas is angry. He's pissed off. How do y'all feel about that? They need the clothes and wagon and weapon in hand, 12. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that he will probably direct them to that, if not already. Now that Brian has pleaded guilty, I assume that Brittany J's fault. I kid, I kid. Hey, you just never know. That might be the next conspiracy. For certain, everybody's going to get their last little bit of money in because they still got till Wednesday before he signed to argue the fact. You know, there's some saying, well, it's not on the docket yet, so I'm not believing it. Well, you won't believe it once it's on the docket. You know, nobody's heard that they subpoenaed Ian and Harsh. Leslie, I don't know where you heard that from, but all that doesn't matter now. Really doesn't. Closure is closure. On to the next. So where do we go to now, chat? Has anybody checked to see if the Pro Burgers are okay? That's a good one. Yeah, I know. They're going to be talking a lot of stuff. This news has got Ashley Banfield outside in blue plaid recording her reaction on Twitter. That's amazing. That is freaking amazing. Let me put a little thing up here for you, Nina. How you doing? Did you
Am
do
I up there?
did you do a war dance or something earlier? Is that what?
I said I'm going to. I'm fixing to message Pavioli. Let me go out and come back in. Am I echoing?
I, I see you. Yeah, you're up here.
But am I echoing?
No, you're not echoing to
Oh,
me.
okay. I said I'm going to message Pavioli and tell him that he telepathically heard me, like defense does Pavioli.
Yeah. How do you feel
I,
about this?
you know, here's the only thing I can say: the families are at peace with it, and so are my emotions relevant? Really?
Yeah,
I mean, you know what I'm saying, though? If they're at peace with it, shouldn't I just be at peace with it then?
of course.
So how can I sit there and say, no, it's not what I want? I mean, because I'm hoping, I don't know if this is the way it goes, but I know when BTK and all of them pled guilty, they had to give like accounts of what happened.
He will. I hope that they do that in Idaho. That's what I
See, I
was
don't
saying.
know because I've asked a lot of people. That's the reason I hadn't come up yet, is because I've been I've been asking questions. And from what I understand, he does not have to tell anything.
Well, If he doesn't tell, that's fine.
I wanted him to tell where the knife was, damn it. I
Well, you
wanted
know
to know if
what?
it was under the gnome.
All the families are not at peace with it, however.
Oh, who's
No,
not at peace?
they're not families are pissed. They just released statement. They said the state let them down.
Oh, well, that's just came out then. Let me go hunt that. I'm not doubting anybody, but I was going to hunt it so I could send it to you.
Well, don't jump down. The
No, that's what
families
I'm
are not
saying.
happy. I just looked at the Consalves page, but they
Oh,
made it a
wow.
condition of the plea deal. That's what I was saying too. You know, a lot of times they do the plea deal because they want to know exactly um, whatever happened. Well,
Wow.
they can be mad. I mean, that's understandable. But you know what? At least they know now.
Well, but see, really, though, if you think about it, I have to really say that because, okay, how do I say this? Because if he does not have to give a statement, if he does not have to like own the responsibility to where people know that he's really guilty, do you know what kind of chaos this is going to cause? I mean, at least if you go through the trial and all the evidence is out there and everything, and he gets found innocent, that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? But now, and it's already started because that's one of the things that I was looking at is, well, they took the death sentence off. And so to save his life, he took a plea.
Well, of course, of course. I kind of figured this all along. I mean, I'm not saying that I was 100% that there was going to be a plea because people were fighting me with that. When I mentioned it, they said, no, there's no way. Bill said he wasn't going to fold on that whatsoever. But you know what? At this point, there's so much that could be hindering this case. Why not offer a plea? You get what I'm saying? Like the Dateline stuff. There's going to be a book. There's going to be the docuseries. I mean, that could sway jury opinion.
Well, I think I mean, even though everybody wanted to have their opinion of the DoorDash and stuff like that, I think when everything started tumbling down, because, here came Dateline, then here came the DoorDash. And I think that it was finally, look, dude, you got too much against you.
It was started on, one of them psycho creators channel that he was railroaded and he is innocent. Well,
Wow. See,
they can think that. They're gonna think that. A plea saved the state a ton of money and years of appeals. Yep. Because
the thing
you
about
know
it
that
is,
she was preparing for an appeal all along.
but the thing about it is maybe some healing can begin now.
Yeah, because if you're mad at this, and I'm not talking to you, Texas, because I know your stance on it, but if you're really angry at this, you got to understand, you know what? It's time. It's time to let go. You know,
Wow.
It's time to let go. We know that prison justice is not always just. And sometimes prison justice serves the purpose that many people out here cannot do. So,
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, I wouldn't mess with no prison justice.
yeah,
I mean, Dahmer got his prison justice.
that's what I was just saying. Everybody was mad because Dahmer, went to prison, blah, 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 this and that. But hell, it took a while, but they got him. They can get you if they want you. And if the Aryan nation really did set him up, don't you think they will be the ones to take him out?
Oh yeah, I mean, prison justice will take care of him.
Yeah, I believe that
Well,
wholeheartedly.
that's true too. He will never see general pop. I don't know. No, 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 no. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He would never see general population if he got the death sentence. If he's going in just as a lifer, he will be in general population.
Yeah, he's a lifer. He's not a death penalty case.
Right, right. The only way they get segregated is death penalty.
Yeah.
So he will be in general pop. I noticed that Paul Violi is really quiet right now.
There's a lot of channels on right now that are just furious.
But see, here's the thing about it is this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. You've always heard me say that whenever the verdict comes in, I want it to be so overwhelming with innocent that we can't doubt it or with guilty that we can't doubt it. And this right here, we'll be talking about this case for 90 more years.
But Nina, how much more guilt you need than the person signing his guilt?
Come on
He's
now.
admitting he
Did
doesn't
you
have to sign. He does
did
not
you
have to
did you
sign.
listen to Delphi's confession?
What'd he say?
I mean, but his confession is like you can hear it in his voice. His confession is real. I mean, you can listen to it, and people still say he was railroaded into it. Uh, It's saying that this happened 22 hours ago.
What?
The plea deal.
Well, it might have. They weren't allowed to release it until such and such time.
Boy, oh Brian Itten, boy, he was on it, wasn't he?
Yeah, you sent me that. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I know. I got sent that, and I was like, "What?" 4 consecutive life sentences. 4 consecutive life sentences. Does he have to testify that Court hearing scheduled for July 2nd? Court hearing set for July 2nd. Jury selection was started on November 4th.
Yeah, because he's going to change his plea.
Right. God, will they televise that?
Probably not.
And I want to say something, if I may.
Don't apologize for earlier. Just
No, no, no. I want to say prayers for the Coburgers.
why?
They didn't do anything. And they've got to be
Oh,
going
the
through it.
family. I thought you
Yeah.
said pro burgers. I thought
No,
you said
no.
pro
For
burgers.
for for Coburger's family.
Oh, okay. I got you. I thought you said pro burgers. I was like, for what?
Gage was like, "Why?"
Why?
Yeah, Mama Coburger's got to be going through it right now. 6 hours ago.
Well, I mean, Nina, you were talking about this earlier, and think about this a little bit. The Band-Aid just got ripped off all the families again.
Right, exactly.
They're going through the grieving process again. Anger is a process of grieving.
Right.
So they're gonna be angry. They're gonna be in denial. They're gonna be all that stuff that, you know.
And even as creators right now, I think that we're all like, wait a minute, what now? I mean, you know, what about that live I had planned for tomorrow? And that sounds really selfish, but you can't tell me that creators are not thinking that.
I wasn't.
But you know what I mean. I'm
You
talking
had a live
creators.
you had a live tonight planned. Now what?
Well, it's 5:30. I'm sort of kind of.
I heard you say I'll be late night tonight, y'all. Y'all be ready for it.
Yeah, buddy. I'll be up at midnight talking about this when everybody else is asleep.
Well, I mean,
What do I do now? Really,
like,
let's keep this completely real. Completely real. Let's
why
think
don't you
about
why
let's
don't you
think
pick
about these creators that do
why,
nothing but Idaho 4.
why don't you pick another case?
Oh no, I'm not talking about me. I'm capable of doing research.
Oh,
I'm talking about these that's all they did. But
and
here's
that's
the
all.
thing about it is, hey, I come up with last night, well, I didn't come up with it, but anyway, it was told to me. They were like, didn't Decker have 3 girls? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, he worked in Idaho. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, well, 3 girls got killed. And that sort of stopped me in my tracks. Today, 6:30.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But you know what, Nina? That's what I've been saying all along. If all you do is this case, now it's over. Because you can talk till Wednesday. You can be having that fake outrage and all that other stuff. But after Wednesday, he's gonna wait to pull chain. And then we got a couple that are gonna be able to say, well, his first couple days in prison and this and that and the other. And people will tune into that and. But after a couple weeks, Koberger is going to be no more. It's not going to be a thing anymore.
See, I don't see that happening. I think I'm not going to say the ones that had a differing in opinion, but I'll say the diehard, he can do nothing wrong pro burgers, they're going to keep it going.
But then they're just going to be the wackadoodle channels.
The wackadoodles.
And the people that go to
You are
those
no
channels.
longer a pro burger. You are a wackadoodle.
And you know what? The only people that are going to go to those channels are wackadoodles. So, I mean, they won't be coming over any other channel to talk about anything because nobody else is going to be talking about it on this side. It's over.
Well, I say we do the mock trial and show what would have happened.
Well, I agree with you on that. I would down with that idea.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
now we can take them to trial anyway.
Yeah, Jeff can be Koberger.
Look, here's what I said. I said, okay, Nina's rent's due. So here's what's going to happen: is Koberger, Taylor, uh, Bill are going out to the highest bidder,
Hey,
and judge
Cash,
and judge and judge whatever.
the
I get con-
wackadoodle
I
channels are already spinning it out of control.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
You mean the
And you
guy
would
dressing up
look,
like a clown having real information? I'm in shock. If I were Bill Thompson's shoes, I would have made a full confession of part of the plea deal. But
let's
we don't know if that isn't part of the plea deal.
So right now we've got typically unique, once upon a crime time, um, truth and transparency, uh, Dinky, Anjanette Levy, Sleuth Intuition, Harsh. I
Sarge
mean,
is on. Sarge is on.
oh, is he?
Oh, I don't know. I thought
Titanium belt. Hey, titanium belt's like, oh well, it'll be there when I get there. She's got her scheduled for 6:30.
trial would have been brutal.
You
Day
know,
goes
that's
on.
true. That's absolutely fact, though. A trial would have been so brutal on those families.
Flock of Seagulls reunion tour 2025. Hey, day goes on right now. Did day go
JL,
on?
my gosh, JLR's live, and he's got 4,100 people in
Live where?
on
Is he in?
YouTube.
Is he in Pennsylvania?
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't think so. No, it's a
Well,
wonder he didn't fly out there. No,
he's
he
one
would
of
have
the
had to fly
few.
to Ada County.
Him, Chronicles of Olivia, they jumped on it quick, so they were smart. That's why I'm telling you, you got to pick a case and be the first one to start bringing the news to it, and your
Now
numbers will,
the interview room's live. He's got 6,000.
so they can be all like these people are still talking about Richard Allen, etc. And then what's it going to change? Nothing. They will still be rotting in prison for life. You're right. Dago.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I
Chris
heard you.
with the interview room's got 6,000.
Nah, he didn't pay his electric bill yet.
Wow. You know, Miss Potts and somebody else is in Pennsylvania because, they had all the court
Yeah.
today. I said, well, he was a what's a good word for the P word? He was a weakling when he killed him, and he's a weakling today.
This one says, so he got away with murdering 4 people and get the liner life he always lived. How's that
Okay,
punishment?
Goncalves page. I can't say that word. So the G page. It's true. We are beyond furious at the state of Idaho. They have failed us. Please give us some time. Wow. Wow.
Well, they're more than adequate to have that thought process. It really, I mean, I'm not even going to dive into the family thoughts,
Oh
you know?
no. I mean, it's really, you know, even though they're mad right now, I think that they'll appreciate not having to go through that.
I mean, they've gone through enough, don't you think? I mean, all these years and you still got to go through a trial where you hear exactly what happened.
That's what I'm saying is, today
La-
they may be furious, but later on they're going to be glad they didn't have to hear all that.
Lana's an idiot. They said no appeals. So that means no appeals. He's not going to be able to appeal this. So anybody that believes that is part of this plea deal. And I didn't mean to call her an idiot, but that's an idiot type statement right there. Playing
Oh,
the long game.
we're going with idiot traits now.
You rubbed off on me earlier. Sorry. You remember the hoodie guy circus? So glad over now.
Boy,
Yeah,
I tell you what, that live took a lot out of me.
what long game? You're right. What long game?
It's been pretty
Ron,
long, y'all.
hey, ramen noodle soups and black coffee? I mean, come on, man. Yeah, they can. Yes, you can. You can say that all day, twice on Sundays. You can't. You
Don't you
can't.
know that judge is like, hot damn, I'm going to ride my Harley.
Yeah, it will help many more victims than it does not. It helps their grief journey. Yeah. See, you can't appeal a plea deal, but she wants people to believe it so she can have them coming back tomorrow, the next day, and the next day before he signs. So they'll believe that, oh, there's still hope for him getting out.
Well, he waived his right to appeal. So here's my question. Boy, I got questions that nobody's going to think about. Here's my question: Is I ain't going to ask it. Never mind.
What's your question? You are watching other people chat. Someone in Tommy chat said Brian has to accept a plea deal.
I knew that was coming.
No, he does not have to.
Somebody said they're writing him in prison and tell him he will never be on Bundy.
So how about all those people that said, okay, we don't want to say whether we believe he's guilty or innocent, but if he does, if he is found guilty, which he is found guilty at this moment until he signs, then they will accept it. But it sounds like nobody's accepting it. Once again, a lie, right? Hey, Aquarius. Long time no see. Long time no see. So, Nina,
Yes.
At this point, what do you think he's feeling?
I think he's feeling relieved. I think he, I think that after almost 3 years, he has definitely made sure that people know who he is and that he knows that his name goes down in infamy now. And so he's fine.
I believe that's true. I really do. Yeah, Chris Watts was innocent and gonna get out. Plea deal is an admission. That's simple. With conditions. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
the conditions is that, he has to they take well, see, the way that it's worded though, I can see where the pro burgers are coming from because it is worded that prosecution went to them and asked and told them they would take it off the table. Now, if your case is that strong, and I'm speaking for, I mean, that's the way we do it. We keep it real. You know, if your case is that strong, why would you ever make an offer?
Well, she's been trying to take the death penalty off since day one.
Well, I know, but I'm talking prosecution wise. If you believe in your case that much, why would you ever go to defense and say, "We'll take the death penalty off if he'll plead"?
I believe they've been doing that all along, Nina.
Well, fine, Gage.
But if you were truly innocent, you wouldn't have taken the plea.
I don't know if I was going to be shot, I might.
No. If you felt that your attorney was doing what they needed to, and that they were honestly working for your best interest, and that you had a chance of swaying the jury, you would ride this thing all the way out. Why would you ever accept something that you didn't do? Would you ever sign for something you didn't do?
No, I wouldn't. I'm just saying that it gives the out.
But still, it doesn't matter. Just like you said earlier, you're being that you're overthinking it. You said it earlier in your live. You said, I don't give a damn if they went in, they took 27 steps to get there. I don't care any of this. So now you're backpedaling.
No, 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 no. I'm not backpedaling on mine. I'm
Okay.
saying that it gives the other people the out.
We don't give a shit about the other people, Nina.
This is true. This is
We
true.
don't give a shit about what they think or what they believe. They don't know the law enough to really understand that this was more than just about Brian Koberger,
Yeah, no,
And
I
if
do agree
people,
with that.
this wasn't just about Brian. It's never been about Brian. It's been about those 4 kids that lost their lives.
I agree with that 100%.
So, you
And do
know,
you know why I made that statement?
because I heard
Because
the person, I heard it.
somebody literally asked me, literally. Well, I heard that, no, they were asking me who Josie was, and I was like, Josie's been there from the beginning. She wasn't involved in the 911 call, so she wasn't brought up that much, but she was the one that was going up the stairs with Emily when Hunter started saying, "Get out, get out." And they said, well, Hunter went over by himself. And I was like, they live in the same house. They probably all went over together, and it became an argument. And I'm like, this is what we're going to argue over is if Hunter went by himself? Who went first? And the more people were contacting me, the madder I was getting. And I was sitting here squalling my eyes out because I was so hurt. And I was feeling, I mean, did y'all hear him say that he felt like less of a person?
Yes, I did.
That it's like people didn't hear that. Did y'all not see Emily choke back those tears when she talked about the ambulance driving up and leaving?
No, they were more focused on Hunter looks sick. There must be something wrong with them.
Did you
Why is
know? I'm
she
gonna tell you this right now. I went back and I watched his dedication that he gave to Ethan at the thing at the school, and he does look entirely different. But that kid has been through hell.
Well, PKC brought this up, so I'm going to go ahead and address it. She said, I hope it's not an Alfred plea. And an Alfred plea is a type of guilty plea where a defendant maintains they're innocent but acknowledges the prosecution has enough evidence to convict them. This plea allows the defendant to accept the consequences of a guilty verdict, like a sentence, without explicitly admitting guilt.
Okay, well, there's no allocation. No no allocution. Anyway, he doesn't have to tell what happened.
Where'd you hear that at?
Are you gonna make me really put my sources out there?
Is it Brian Enton? What? Jesus. Jesus, Nina.
No, it is a yeah. It's a source. I don't have to prove my sources. Damn it, the
Yes,
donkey
you
gave it
do.
to me.
Yes, you do. So he's not going to tell us what happened.
No,
But
I
you
will
don't
never
think
know if the knife is under that gnome or not.
but you don't think eventually we're going to find out? Somebody's
No.
going to talk. Somebody's going to talk.
Who? He did it by himself.
It wasn't Dago, that's for sure.
I
You don't
mean,
think law you
the only
don't
way.
think law enforcement is eventually going to leak it to somebody?
No, and
They
I think
know.
they're going to say. I think they'll seal the case.
No.
I think they'll seal the case. You watch and see if they don't seal it.
How do you know your source is credible, Nina?
Have they been right so far?
We don't know who they are to verify whether they're right or not.
Anything that I have told you, you
I
know, I
bet
would never come out and say something like that on a live.
I bet your source has 3 letters in their name.
I bet you it doesn't.
I bet
Well,
it
I mean, I
does.
guess it could. 3 letters plus.
See, now you got them asking questions. Why do you think they'll seal the case?
That is strictly me. That's strictly me. That is not from a source. That's not from anything. I think that there has been so much secrecy and so much that's going on with this that I do. I just have a gut feeling that they'll seal the case.
PKC says, reveal your sources, Nina. Damn it. Leslie and Billy says JLR.
I wish.
Kel says they had him dead to right. Dolphin says, I bet Thompson
Now wait
or
a minute. If
Hitler.
he makes a plea, he has. See now, this. So Hitler is the judge. So he's the one that would have to sign off on it, right? See, I don't see Hitler not letting him by with no allocation.
I know who your source is.
You don't know anything. I
Yes,
could
I
be
do.
making it up.
You mentioned your source a long time ago to me.
I'll send the spirit box now that we're finished with it.
No, I know who it is.
So, do you see Hitler letting him by without confessing?
I don't think he will though.
See, I think my source is wrong.
Kel says he can reject it. You're getting some pushback.
Hmm.
Leslie says T Rev 757.
Fuck y'all.
Well, damn, Brian stole the thunder. This was supposed to be my night, damn it.
Oh my
Leslie
gosh. So
Leslie was gonna super chat me $1 million tonight for my graduation. Thanks a lot, Brian.
tell her to send it to Coburger's commissary.
Hot dogs for sale. No, I know. Nina told me without telling me one day in a conversation, and I said,
Dolly
"Oh,"
Parton's husband died.
my ears perked up. Going to be interesting how POV spends this as he has close to 500 videos out. Yeah, I'm going to leave
Is
mine.
POV Pavioli?
Yeah, Pav.
Hello, Pavioli. Pavioli. Hello, Pavioli.
Brian, we
Pavioli,
were
I just
having
want to
a
let you
fun
know.
like a pro gauge. How'd you do about tonight? How did you know about tonight? Because I was in the chat when you, or I was in the live when you were talking about it in the chat. It's happening Wednesday. Well, thank you there. Thank you there. God, I didn't say that to like beg for money. My electricity's on. I'll share it with Nina though. Damn it, 12 gauge. You're the one that let it leak
Yeah,
in
my power's off too, Leslie.
the
My dogs are hungry.
babies need kibbles and bits. No, I caught your rant earlier, just part of it because I was at work, like I said, but you only catch so much, and I thought, damn, I'm about to tear up.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Did you
about to tear up. I was like, God,
know?
she's saying everything I've been saying, but she's saying it with emotion. I just say it with kind of like a manly thing.
The thing about it is I was okay. I mean, I was okay until people started contacting me, asking me like these stupid questions. And then all of a sudden it was Koberger will never get a fair trial. They've had 3 years to give these interviews. Why are they doing it now? How much are they getting paid? And I was like, oh God, y'all stop. I've got it scheduled for 5:30. Y'all just stop. Y'all just stop. Because I was going to use it to my benefit. I'll be honest at 5:30, because, well, not to my benefit, but at the end of it, when they're talking about that they're more than what took their life, because that's always been what those left behind is come and introduce us to the victim as a person, not a victim, you
Right,
know.
right.
And so, that's where I was going to go with it was, them being more than just a quadruple murder victim,
There was
just
a
like,
creator. There was a creator that said something about Hunter. This person was like, "Well, I wonder what's wrong with him. It's been 2 years. Why is he
do you want
still?"
me to tell you what's wrong with him? He is traumatized.
Yes,
Did you see the picture I put up of David?
yes, I did.
And that was really hard for me to do.
Yes, I did.
But the thing about it, David's not laying there with gouges and blood and a slit throat. David was completely clean, looked like he was asleep, you know, and that's traumatizing. Can you imagine what that kid saw?
And you know what? The father of one of these victims stated that he felt like his soul had been taken from him.
Yeah.
Well, obviously he had a soul because the people that talk about these kids like they do, they'll never understand it because they don't have souls. They're
Well,
soulless
I will
vultures
tell
and spies.
anybody I'll tell anybody when you bury your child, it skips the heart and pierces your soul.
What's bearing anybody, Nina? Loss is loss. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know. I've lost some people in my life. I
I mean,
mean,
I'm not trying. I'm not trying to minimize your loss. I'm not trying to
No,
do
I
that
know
at all.
that. I know that.
I'm just
But
saying
it's
that
like these people that are talking is like they've never experienced it. And some of them are old enough. I know they've experienced it somehow because their mama and daddy would be too old to be alive.
Jack Showalter is currently taking a victory lap on an elephant in Africa.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, this whole trial has been blown out of proportion, worse than Gabby Petito. I thought Gabby was pretty damn wild, man. Did people get as crazy on Gabby Petito as they did this case?
I wasn't in true crime. I haven't been in true crime but a year.
Oh, chat. Did the true crime
He's like, okay,
community
next chat.
did the true crime community get as crazy with Gabby or what was that other one? Summer Wells.
Now I have seen some of the Summer Wells craziness. Oh my gosh. People are saying, where can I go and watch the Pro Burger cheers?
Look at this. You're gonna get so many likes tonight. Damn it, stupid Brian. He could have waited one day, motherfucker.
See, he fucks up everything.
No. Imagine finding out your best mate is a murderer. I mean, what the fuck? Even the poor DD driver was a victim. Exactly.
Absolutely.
They're already doxing the shooter in the Coeur d'Alene ambush. They're already doxing the family.
Oh my gosh. See, I got started on that. I was like, in my life, I was like, do y'all know why they're shooting firemen? Do you know why daddies are killing their daughters?
I heard that.
I was,
I think you've needed to say that for a while.
I've never
Worse than
seen so
Hallie
much
Rock.
hate. I've never seen so much hate.
See, I started with this case, but it was at the end of Gabby Petito, and people were going after. They were hardcore. I mean, they were talking about Brian hiding out in the backyard in the bunker, and the family was feeding him, and all this, and the family even killed him so that he wouldn't get caught, and all this stuff. And I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "What the hell?" And
Boy,
then
don't you know that there's some of those channels, though, that, boy, I can just imagine what some of them are saying.
Chickbait says, "Take care of your so-called pro burger friends. They're leaving nasty comments and being dicks to channels like mine, and mine is mid."
Why? Why do that? She didn't tell him to go out and cop a plea.
Right. Summer Wells was worse. They still haven't found Summer. She just came and went, right? She would be 9 years old right now, almost 10.
I have
There's
no
your
clue.
there's your case to investigate. Summer Wells is an interesting case.
Hell
I'm
no.
Yes, I went into that case for a while, and I was like, I hit a I hit a door jam. Like that was it.
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. The next case that I do research on, do you think I'm sharing it with any motherfucker out here?
No, I wouldn't.
It's all mine.
Yeah, this trial was big summer business for many YouTubers. Yeah, they done canceled.
Oh, did you read my back chat?
Yeah, I saw that.
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean,
And look, okay, wait a minute.
they might donate it to the other families. Or hell, build a statue of all four of them. They big angry. What are they saying? Jesus.
Oh yeah,
Who are
I'm reading
y'all
some.
watching? Who are y'all watching?
Yeah,
Jesus.
they are big time mad. Hey, I'm gonna make a video with a bunch of crying babies.
Who are Crime Time with JB Gunner? Is he pissed off?
Now, why is he being so emotional about it?
He said he would find them guilty.
Now they ain't no. Oh my goodness gracious! What? Maybe Jay Embry has not heard because he just put out a video. Maybe
I'm like,
I should let him know.
Nina's, don't poke the bear.
They're like, Pav, he pled guilty.
Did he like put out a video of an alternative suspect?
Look, this just came out 50 seconds ago.
What?
And in 50 seconds, this idiot's got 28 views. In 50 seconds.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Nina. I talked to her quite a bit.
Oh,
The person you put in back chat.
oh, do you? You know that I got blocked.
She blocked you?
Yeah,
No, I didn't know that.
I have no clue. None whatsoever.
I
None.
mean, I don't talk to her like every day, but I check in with her from time to time.
Oh no, we were talking every day. She's the one that sent me that stuff that that she didn't know this person and didn't blah blah blah. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, everything was great. And so every day I was sending, like, I told you I do my Bible study every day, and so I would send it to her and we would talk about it and stuff. And so I sent one morning and it said, "Please do not contact me again. You're blocked."
Wow.
But I mean, I have to respect that, and I'm okay with that, and I pray for her every day. And that's not a Southern "I'll pray for you." That's a sincere "I'll pray for you."
I mean, do you think it was
I
she
think
got
somebody
the
got to her.
like based on the people that
Yeah.
talk about her child?
Yes. I think
Yeah.
I think a wolf in sheep's clothing.
There's a lot of them out there, Nina.
This thing, which in the end is what is important. And we can't ever lose sight on that. So, keeping that in mind, one of the things that I think we're going to need to do, because we've been just begging for information this entire time, but when this trial finally hits, I mean, we'll get to see at least.
He doesn't know when this trial finally hits. Paul does not know. That means that his telepathy with the defense is not working. I think Gage is frozen. Come back, Gage. Unfreeze yourself. Hello. I guess it's the Nina show now. I've already had a show. Come on now, Gage. Uh-oh. Where'd Gage? Gage. Hello. Well, y'all, so my co-person that is beside me that y'all can't see, I guess it's my imaginary now. I don't know what's going on but y'all have any questions? Questions, comments, anything? Is Gage a cold case yet? They sent them a letter letting them know. What? Wait a minute. I cannot believe that they sent the families a letter to let them know this was happening. You are kidding me. Oh my God. His internet went down. So does that mean I need to go, or is he coming back, or are we just going to wing it, or
Hold on, wait a minute. Guess who's back? I don't know what happened to Nina, but I'm back. Can y'all see me? Do y'all see me? Y'all see me? Nina went away. So where were we? You really think Koberger's going to get a? Everybody's saying that it's not confirmed. I just got my Wi-Fi knocked out, so um, bad storms. So Texas, I think they're coming your way. It rains over there more than it does anything else for sure. So be careful, buddy. I think these storms are coming your way. Where'd Nina go? She take off? I guess she got tired of waiting. Yeah, the internet got knocked out, and I had to come back and make sure that you guys were still here. Yeah, I got to go check the family house because I'm taking care of some stuff over there too. Well, if the prosecution was asking for the plea deal, I believe that as long as the defendant accepts it and the judge signs it, we just don't know what's in that plea deal other than what's been stated. Wednesday, I'm sure we'll know more than we know right now. So the pro burgers are going crazy, huh? Maybe we should get on here and like one night just do clips of all the stuff and their reactions as soon as this happened. They thought that we'd be popping champagne and everything. I'm not popping champagne. It was never about that dude. It was always about the four. You know what I'm saying? Always about the four. They're going nuts. Where are they going nuts at? I'd like to know. You know, they always accuse certain people of, well, you're a guilter and you're this and you're going to be happy, blah, blah, blah. No, I can't really, I'm not really worried about Koberger pleading. It was a shock for sure, but it kind of frees up my August for some football. You know what I mean? It frees up my August for some more traveling. Yeah, the names are lame, huh? I wish they'd go back to the original names. It's going to free up my August for football, more traveling, more summer activities. 3 months of trial during football, the beginning of football season. Can you imagine? Hell no. Hell no. So I'm glad that, BK plead. Now maybe he can have his little girlfriend come over and, put some money on his book, get in some of that black bag coffee and some ramen noodles. And let me be the first to let people know. I know a lot of people aren't going to watch this probably, but let me tell you the first couple of days of what Brian's going to go through in prison. Don't fall for the narrative that Brian's going to be doing this, doing that in prison. Because at least for the first 30 days, Brian's going to be in orientation, meaning that they're going to be running every conceivable test on him, making sure his eyesight, his teeth, he doesn't have HIV, all this other stuff. They're going to be doing all these tests on Brian. So he's going to be in diagnostics. He's not going to be immediately spending the first night in prison, rocking back and forth in his cell. It's not going to happen that way. So if anybody comes out here and starts pushing that narrative, they're just full of crap. Just like, we've heard about what Brian's going through in jail. No, Brian's not going through that in jail. We can make it sound as harsh as we want to, but it ain't going to happen. He's going to be in diagnostics. You're right. Texas. He's going to be in diagnostic. They're going to be doing the work over on him, making sure that he's not bringing anything in physically, emotionally from the outside, and where they're going to place him. What unit he's going to go. He's going to go. What unit he's going to go to. You know, he might not make it through intake. No telling. But there's going to be people out here doing the play by play. And they're going to say, well, Brian's going to be sent to a prison and they're going to give him his prison gear and they're going to give him a cell and they're going to do this. They don't give you cells anymore. This ain't 1980. This ain't 1990. Most places are built with a round control tower overlooking a huge ass room with lots of cells with heavy metal doors with little bitty holes in them where you can see the offender through the through the hole. So he's not going to have cells, you know, but he got to make it through diagnostics first. Once he gets through diagnostics, then they're going to classify him, give him his number, give him his jacket, so to speak, and he's going to make the walk, you know? He's going to make the perp walk, as they say. And once those doors close behind them, honey, you're home. Take that last breath of fresh air because you'll never breathe it the same again. You know what I mean? And then the games begin. Will he will he be fighting from jump? We don't know. Because a life sentence is not going to be protective custody. He can choose to go to PC, but that doesn't protect him from everything. You know, I've had loved ones that are locked down that went to PC and stuff like that, and they've told me stories about how people still get hurt and possibly killed in PC. So just because you go to PC doesn't necessarily mean that you're safe. Because once you're in prison, they want you, they're going to get you. That's just a known fact. You know, that's just a known fact. And God forbid he goes to a unit where any of these family members have a family member. That would be the worst possible thing. But you know what? You don't get special treatment. You don't get to choose where you're going. You know what I'm saying? She did that the other night. PKC. You know, you don't get to choose where you're going. You know, you don't get to choose and say, well, I don't want this, or I don't want to do that, or I don't want to go there because so and so's uncle's there or cousin's there. Well, guess what? You better put those fighting skills to use because you should have thought about that before you bash somebody's face in and cut them up. And you know, now I don't have to say presumed innocent anymore. I don't have to say, in my opinion, sure, we have till Wednesday before he signed. Do any of y'all think he'll change his mind before Wednesday? That's what I was wondering too. You know, that's what I was wondering too. The Aryan Brotherhood, if there's any of them in there that have been accused out here for being involved in this case, good old Bob might have just put the seal in Brian's fate, you know? But I don't think any of these YouTubers give a damn what they've said or done. I really don't. It shows four people watching, probably you, me, and the person that chatted and a lurker. That's funny. She has four, I have 11. So, you know, I don't get as much as the other channels, but it's all good. There are four families and many that have people whom have done time. Chances of someone being where he is placed by two degrees of separation. You're right. I mean, all it takes is even a friend of a relative. You know, even a friend of a relative. O'Brien's in your prison, really? Show him we send our love. That's it. Yeah, it's a smaller world than you think. And people think that the guards are actually going to protect them. They're still living in a fairy tale land. They are still living in a fairy tale land. It just is interesting to me how I don't know if it's naiveness or I don't know if it's just being contrarian, but I've heard people talking about life behind bars, and they still don't make it as tough as it really is. I've worked in a prison. I've seen a lot. I've had countless friends, family members be incarcerated, and I'm talking long stretches, aggravated type stuff. It isn't as, you know, it isn't as nice as people try to make it sound. They will protect him. They will make sure this and that. Once he gets to diagnostics, he's just another number. We don't give a damn who you are. You think those guards are going to give a damn who Brian Koberger was or what his status out here in the world was? You're just another person in a jumpsuit at this point with a number. You better remember it and don't lose your ID card because we will write you a case for it. Get enough cases, you get in trouble for that, Brian. The only number you better remember from now on is the number on your ID. Don't forget it. Write it down. Be able to recall it at any time. I never thought this day would come. I really didn't. I did. I mean, I'm saying that facetious. I did know it was going to come. I just, I thought I was kind of looking forward to the trial because the continuance got shot down, the alternative perpetrators. The reason I think the prosecution also threw this plea bargain is a humanitarian in Bill Thompson, I'm sure, because he is the plea bargain king. So let's throw this at him one more time, see if he's ready to sign. I'm sure they've been working him all along from jump, and for no other reason than he wore down, like Nina said. 2.5 years of being in a cell. I've worked with convicts that told me county is no joke, man. Being in county one day is too long. You can't move around. You're stuck in one place. It isn't until you go to prison that you can actually move around, go work out, do all this other stuff. So he's been locked up in a environment for 2.5 years, not being able to move around. He's been in a building for 2.5 years. The only time he leaves is to go to court hearings. That'll weigh on you. It really will. And regardless of the reason why he chose to plea or signed it, it doesn't matter. Because, like I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Stream name, I told you. Is that what my stream name should say? I have dated a prison guard. I have sent many people to prison. I have visited a many prison. Guards are not going to like him or other inmates. Melissa, you've been here for a long time. You know my stance in day one. So I appreciate your loyalty, honestly. I really do. I think you enjoy my presentation. Otherwise, you wouldn't still be here. I appreciate it wholeheartedly. I really do. He can ride away, but the money will go to the families. Yeah. Shannon, one of our best mates, taught the scum of scum in prison. She is tiny, too. Yeah, those little ones you got to watch out for. You know, he's not going to have a K-bar knife now. You get the wrong one, they're going to clean his clock. I did a little bit bullets, I did, but people were shooting me down with it, so I kind of backed off. Backed off. But it's interesting nonetheless. But I think I'm going to get off here for now. I might come back later, or I might come back tomorrow. Y'all make sure you have your notifications on. And I think I'm going to leave in the comments what case you want me to start investigating and deep diving into now. Because honestly, after Wednesday, there will be nothing more to talk about on this case. There'll be nothing more to talk about on this case, and I want to start something fresh, brand new. I mean, even if it's something that's not talked about, I started Gilgo Beach there for a little while. I mean, he's going to trial in 2026, supposedly. Let me know in the comments what you would like to start researching, okay? I want y'all to think about it because, I mean, I want it to be something y'all enjoy. That way people come rather than something that I do and kind of force feed you it. I mean, because after a while, that's what it feels like. This is what this case has felt like after a while, force feeding. Yeah, they got rid of the weightlifting equipment here too, but they still do the water bags. They still do their books and the commissary bags. I mean, there's plenty of ways to work out. But I'm sorry, Leslie, that BK ruined your Monday night for 12. Um, maybe you can tell them what you want them to do, and hopefully they can do it next time or something. But you guys, I wanted to hop on here to give you my perspective and give you my commentary because, I know you like the breaking news on this case. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. It's over. Don't go fighting about it. Don't go arguing about it. No matter what people say, no matter what they do, unless Brian changes his mind from here to Wednesday, it's a done deal. It's a wrap. People can say what they want. It's not going to change the fact. Once the judge signs off, it's over. Let's move on to something else, shall we? Y'all have a wonderful night. I'm going to leave y'all with some music. Y'all can chat a little bit.
Sighs. As I sit in this broken chair, an echo runs wild through my mind. A picture of someone who never knew pain. An angel in black forged by time. She walked with a silence the streets couldn't break. A blade by her cheek to settle the stakes. An essence of strength carved deep in her soul. Life took its shots, but she never let go. She walked with a silence the streets couldn't break. A blade by her cheek to settle the stakes. An essence of strength carved deep in her soul. Life took its shots, but she never let go. She's an actress in the eyes, a spark in the smile, capturing moments, bending them to her style. Some saw petals fall where she once stood. Now they walk in tears where roses once bloomed. An essence of strength, but the streets took their toll. A blade by the cheek just to stay in control. A child of the flame, born into the heat. history wrapped in shattered poetry. Her dress, her smile.